Continuing, and today is the last in a three-part series to speak about the three legs of stewardship: time, talent, and treasure, as we prepare for the 2026 stewardship campaign, which is entitled Rise Up and Build. We've had parishioners from within the community speak to all of you about their experiences of their stewardship, offering the Lord thanksgiving of their time and their talent. Today, we will hear from a member of our stewardship committee, Elli, Koulos, who will speak to us about the stewardship of treasure and how offering back to the Lord the gifts of the finances he has entrusted to us, we can help to rise up and build the body of Christ. Elli?
Good morning. Thank you for making it out on this snowy day. It's a pleasure to be with you. As Father said, I'm Elli Koulos, for those of you who don't know me. And forgive me for reading. I feel a little more comfortable reading. I've been a part of this parish since I've been 7 years old. My parents moved from New Jersey in the late 60s, and this has been my spiritual home for all these years. And presently, I'm active, as Father said, on the stewardship committee, and I'm a member of Philoptochos, so I do my best to give my time, talents, and treasures to St. Athanasios. Despite being on the stewardship committee, I am a little uncomfortable speaking about treasures, to be honest. I think it's a very personal topic, but I'm going to do my best to share some of my experiences and how I feel about the donation of treasures. I first learned about stewardship from my parents, John and Athena Digrandakis, who regularly offered time, talents, and treasures to St. Athanasios. My father, if you knew him, he was an engineer, he was very serious, and he was a very practical man. And he knew how important treasures were for the church. He worked hard on the parish council and on many committees. He did a lot of fundraising and recruiting of new members. And honestly, he really worried about the church a lot. He talked a lot about it at home, and he passionately offered his opinions and questions at General Assembly meetings and in the office. And he really had a lot of thoughts and opinions about what the church needed to grow and thrive and survive. When I was young, I remember those little church icon or offering boxes that we got in Sunday school, and I remember getting a $1 bill to put in the tray when we came to church every Sunday. But to be honest, we didn't really discuss the offering of treasures at home very much. I just don't remember my dad speaking of stewardships in terms of love, and I want to talk a little bit about that today. It wasn't until he passed away that I understood the offering of treasures, and that offering treasures to the church is really an act of love. As we prepared for my dad's funeral, my mom asked me to deliver a check to the church office. And I was kind of curious, but I didn't ask any questions. My mom's face told me that this donation was something that they had previously discussed. And in that moment, I realized that this was not an offering like for an upcoming funeral or any obligatory payment, but it was about my parents' love for St. Athanasios. The gift wasn't just about keeping the lights on, but it was my dad's way of contributing and ensuring the future of the parish that he treasured. This experience brought new meaning to the words of Christ in Matthew 6:21, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be." My father's consistent treasures, big or small, were given to the church, but his heart was there too, in the community and in the faith, and in the love he carried for the parish. His final act of stewardship showed me that giving treasures is not only practical as he was, but it was profoundly spiritual. When I married my husband, Michael, some of you know him as Mickey, I joined my life with someone whose parents were among the founders of this parish, so I would be remiss not to mention Chris and Bessie Koulos. They worked tirelessly to grow St. Athanasios, and their example reminds me that our giving is part of a larger story, a story of faith, sacrifice, and love. Each year, Michael and I prayerfully decide together how to offer our treasures to St. Athanasios. We are aligned in our belief that our treasures are not ours alone, but gifts entrusted to us by God to be shared, something that we learned from both our parents. Offering treasures is an act of love, as I said, and it's a way of saying, Lord, I trust you. I want to invest in your kingdom. Every dollar given supports ministries that teach our children, they care for those in need, it provides important building updates, and it sustains the liturgy that nourishes us as Orthodox Christians. When we give, we are participating in something greater than ourselves. We are building up the body of Christ. When we give, we are also setting an example for future generations, as my parents did for me. So today I invite you to reflect on your own experiences and ask yourself, where is my heart? If our hearts are truly in this parish and in our spiritual home, then our treasures must follow, no matter how large or small. And I'm going to reword this in a much more straightforward way. You know, these are hard times for many. We have seen prices rising, it's the holidays, and we all have pressure. The dollar amount you give is not what you should think about. It's your heart posture. Giving is between you and Christ. Our 2026 stewardship theme, Rise Up and Build, reminds us to give generously, joyfully, and faithfully, so that St. Athanasios may continue to be a beacon of faith, hope, and community for years to come. Thank you.
Elli, for somebody who's not comfortable, you did a great job. Like all of our speakers on for testimonials to speak about our 2026 stewardship campaign, I thank you, Elli, and I thank everybody who has provided us with a personal example of how they participate in the life of the church through the giving of their time, their talent, and their treasures. We've sent out stewardship commitment cards to our mailing list, and it's been included in our Friday emails. But if you have not received a stewardship commitment card and you would like to take one with you today, our stewardship committee will be standing at the back of the church with stewardship commitment cards for the 2026 stewardship campaign. Again, we thank you for all your support for our parish. We look forward to ministering together in the new year as we rise up and build the body of Christ here in Aurora, Naperville, and the surrounding areas so that all should be saved and come to the knowledge of truth. Thank you, and God bless.